I'm Claire Lomas. I am the current web content editor of the Watford Observer and St Albans Review websites. The thing about Winchester is that it does simulate a working newsroom, a real life newsroom. It does. Where I work now, I work for 2 local newspapers, but I'm the web content editor, and that is essentially what you do here at WINOL, and it's on par. It is the same thing. I was saying earlier to the students, instead of sitting in boring lectures and watching PowerPoints, you're creating news. It's like a job. It's not like you're on a standard university course. You're creating news all the time. You're creating packages. You're out there. You're speaking to people all the time, and that is what I've realised. It is so important, and it is like real life. Now I'm in a real life job. I look back and realise how important the course was. I used to get stressed and I'd be running around, I've got so much work to do, I've got to make my package, I've got to film, I've got to present, I've got to edit. But I look back now at this course after working. I've worked as web content editor for 2 local newspapers in Hertfordshire for just over a year now, and whilst I've learnt something new there every single day, almost every day I have looked back on this course and thought about what I've learnt, the little tips that Chris and Brian gave us and stuff. And also working for a local newspaper straight from uni, I notice how good this course is in preparing you, and that it is very real life like. It is, sounds silly, but it is. Whilst working in a newsroom now, I sort of make comparisons, and I said earlier again, this course is so good in that it's practical. We're not sitting watching a PowerPoint presentation like all the other sort of uni courses that you know about, sort of 3 times a week sitting and then writing an essay about it. We're doing stuff all the time, we're always busy. You're out there speaking to people, communicating with people, you're out there hunting stories, you're filming, you're editing, and I just think that's so good. Instead of sitting down being talked at, you're constantly doing things, you're doing the news. I wanted to go into magazines, I wanted to be in print, and that's what I wanted to do. I was happy with that. I came onto this course and at first I was a bit like, oh, it's very broadcast based, quite scary, I'm going to be on camera and have to speak to people and edit things and stuff. And then after this course, or throughout the duration, I got into that, and now my new job that I'm due to start in 2 weeks is at ITN. It's broadcast, it's TV based, and it completely changed how I saw things. I no longer, obviously I still like writing and things, but I'm wanting to go into TV, which I never thought I'd say. I'd never thought I'd hear myself say that. So yeah, that's the good thing about the course as well, that I sort of realised, is that you can do a bit of everything. It's not just let's do some news articles and here's my cutouts. It's you write the story, you do a news story, you write it, you reversion it for radio, TV, online, print. You do it all, it covers everything, and I think that's so good because that is what people look for these days. If you go in and you say, well, here's my magazine that I made for my FYP, people go, cool, okay, but we're really looking for someone that can do this, this, this and this. If you say, I can do a radio story and a print story, and do you want to see the package to go with it that I've edited, they'd be so impressed. Like, it's so good to have everything under your belt. I got my ITN Productions work placement. I did 3 weeks there from a contact of the course, Derek Dyson, who is a graduate of yours, Chris. He works at ITN Productions now, and he said there were a few placements going, so a few of us did work placements there, and we did 3 weeks and spent time with the various news teams in ITN. I got to go out with the political correspondent for ITV, Alex Forrest, went out with her, yeah, and did work experience there and got to experience it. That's on my CV, and now I've got a job there, so I'm starting in 2 weeks where I did my work experience placement, so that benefited me massively. I was at Winchester and I was a student here. Working in this newsroom, we were constantly coached. Again, like I said, it's not like any other university course where we're sat, talked at, and then we write an essay. You're here all the time. Chris, Brian, Angus, everybody is here all the time, constantly coaching us. You give all the students tips, and you're constantly sort of chipping in at us, giving advice, and of course the famous debrief at the end of every bulletin every week is torn apart, which is only for the students' benefit, and you do learn a lot all the time. And I think I remember as a student here, you do feel like all the lecturers are there if you need to go, and if you think, oh God, I've messed up that VT, or I hate that piece to camera, then you'll know, oh, I'll go to Angus and he will give me some presenting tips or voice coaching, and you know that they are there because all the lecturers are from the industry. You are all journalists, so you know that you can trust them and that they are good at their job and they will give you the right advice. When I was at Winchester, a lot of my friends that were on the course across all of the years, first, second and third years, again because we all work together as a team on WINOL, we as a team have all sort of got good jobs. It sounds very showy-offy, but we have all managed to get industry jobs. There's people like Justina Cladd, she's at ITV News, I think she's a floor manager at ITV News, gets a credit at the end of News at 10, things like that. George Berridge, he's literally just started at The Sun in their new social media team. Andrew Giddings has done very well. I know that he worked at the BBC South I think it was for a while. He went on to ITV and now he's at ITN Productions where I'm due to start. I'm trying to think of someone else. Sam Homewood, he's just started on CITV. He's a presenter every weekend, which is an amazing job. And before that, he was at ITN Productions as well. And he presented a lot of their showbiz 411 news and got to go to a lot of cool events I'm very jealous of. He got to go to all their red carpet events and present on TV. All these sorts of people have got amazing jobs. They're really, really good. They've all got fantastic jobs now, and it's quite good, and it's quite nice to be able to say, yeah, I did that course as well, and look where everybody else is. I've got my job that I'm really pleased with getting. So yeah, I think this course really does benefit us in that it does cover everything, and look where we are now. I mean, we've got some really cool people with really cool jobs.